the right was like I just hated it. But now like lately, like I cannot understand what are they doing with all of this madness. Like I don't know. It's just to me, it's just too much. It's just because like if you say a letter wrong and then they people get offended by a letter because you use the wrong he, she, ni, bin, double. Like look,
I think
I'm still respectful, but I don't know these things. I don't know what your new name is.
yeah, it's like yeah, I think as long as you're just respectful, like I just think
Yes,
everyone is just like autonomous of themselves. So like you are where you wouldn't like if you want to be where if you want to be a car, like go do it. Like I really don't care. Like I think everyone just cares too much about everyone else. Like I don't know. So go do it. Okay, like it's all right. It doesn't affect me. So
yeah.
I don't,
I,
like live your
I
life,
feel
man.
like I don't really mind if you are wherever you want to be. As
Mm,
long as you know you are respectful of others, like you
yeah.
know, I know if you're a serial killer, then no, that's no good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't identify as that, please.
Yeah,
But anything else, do your thing, man. Yeah, I don't. I'm not. I feel like we've regressed as a society. I think we just care about. And I'm not even talking in regards to that. I'm talking in general. Like, I just see people moaning on like Twitter about just stupid crap. Like, like even the whole Twitter thing. It's like people angry about Twitter. I'm like, there's just so many more like important things in this world to like be annoyed about than some guy buying Twitter. But you're annoyed. Like I you just put your energy and effort in all the wrong like things and
yeah,
places. I feel like we've actually regressed. I remember when I was young, it was like growing up. I used to see so many like technological and like all the advancements and all the biggest stars and all this stuff. It was like scientists like you like people doing crazy stuff like making stuff and creating things, and now it's just like it seems like the famous people in the world are people that just do like stupid shit like like I don't know, like it's just I feel like the what humans as a species have been doing has just become more and more just like meaningless. Like I feel like we just do things because like, why not, rather than like, but if you go back, you had your Mary Curie, like people actually doing things like creating
yeah,
stuff and like like electric cars and like with solar power, all that stuff. Like it was so cool. I like devices and VR and making all this interesting stuff. And then just like now, it's just like, oh, my TikTok page hit 1 million. It's like, oh my god. It's like
yeah.
what?
I
It's like
know.
what? It's like who cares? Like
Video.
Jimmy, and then what's annoying is that the people then that are doing crazy stuff, like I've seen people that are building, like I saw the Boston robotics. There was a video of their robot doing like literally doing parkour in a gym, and I was like, this is nuts. Like we're making robots that are able to like like reenact and create like high end like human locomotion, and no, it has like less likes and views than someone doing a dance on TikTok. I'm like, how does that even like what does that tell us about us as a society and what we value and what we watch and what we monetize? Like we don't like scientific breakthroughs and like people trying to do good or change the world or like people making crazy cool stuff we just don't care about. But stuff that is like fleeting and will just pass and we'll forget about in a moment, that's what we care about. Is I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Um,
share the same like feeling, and then I think it's like the rise of like maybe he started like it's like just way before the Kardashians, but basically people that they weren't really good at anything really much, but they're just very lucky to find their own niche, like Mr. Beast, right?
mm.
He's just some guy that does some YouTube videos. They're not even very good, really, because the videos just a bit cringe, right? And like everyone on YouTube wants to be the next Mr. Beast, right? But it's not that good. It's just like yeah,
I sounds really bad because so I've always wondered what the like the fascination with this stuff, because I always cringe a bit whenever I see his videos. Like I never thought they were um like crazily. Like they were just a bit weird, like wacky, like just doing crazy like random stuff. But and I guess he's giving people money, so I can't complain. Like he's done far more for this world than me, so I really can't. I can't do nothing but
Yeah.
respect the guy. You know what I mean? Um, but I was always interested as to why. Like I remember one of his videos had like 60 million, and he was just him saying someone's name like over and over again. And I was like, what? I was like, is this content? Like, is that what entertainment is? I was like, fair enough. I mean, people watched it, so he must have figured it out. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, no, I
but
know.
yeah,
But
I
then,
never I never understood it. It
but
was just me.
the problem is that I'm fine with some guy that's got a little bit of talent, not excess talent, but it's just a little bit of talent. He just got lucky with some viral stuff, and he does his own things. Right? But there is a difference between that. Because I have no problem for him to be successful, but everyone else wanted to copy him. And this is
Hmm.
like, why there is nothing to copy? He's just a very lucky guy with average talent. It's just like, what you need to copy about?
That's what I mean. But yeah, like Moritaka just said in chat, spaces I love growing up in like the art community and YouTube is so obsessed with clips. I agree. Like it's like even like so I remember watching like I love watching cooking stuff. Like I don't know why. I just love watching people cook food because there's something authentic about food because like it's an experience. You know what I mean? And there's this guy that used to make like these videos of him cooking. And it'd be like recipes, but it'd be like the way he would film it. It was like super cinema. It was almost like a movie about making a chocolate cake. I was like, whoa, this is like so intense. And he's kind of just like he stopped doing it, and instead it's just these like 30-second just like oh you're making things I'm taking the thing and I'm just like Jesus. I was like all the craft that you had and the beauty and like understanding why you were doing it and it was all like it was I know it sounds weird but he had like a narrative and a story to make why he was making the cake or like why he was making this brownie and it was for his friends and he would describe his story as friend and so it was like storytelling. And now it's just like I just look at it I'm just like what is this like it's just I feel like the quality has gone down and the quantity has just exploded. But
Cool.
hey ho. Anyway, anywho, so now shimmy. Let's
Let's Shimmy.
let's
Are
shimmy.
you sharing your screen, David?
I'm not currently. I'm being stupid.
Yeah.
It's just cool watching you run around. To be honest,
Yeah, it just feels
it's
so
just so
good. I mean, it's like
so fluid. Yeah,
it's nice. It's very
hella
nice.
fluid. I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know if you can see it.
Go for it.
So
Oh,
let me
hey,
just.
Drew. How's it going?
Oh, that's too small. Um, bum, bum, bum.
Oh, if you're talking, you're muted, Drew.
Me, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I was telling Drew that I don't know if he was talking, but he's muted.
Oh, okay. Oh, hey, Drew.
It is
Might just be spying on, checking how it's going.
spine mode. The boss in spine.
Okay, so Shimmy left. Okay, that's fine.
What
Okay,
is
whatever.
left and right? Like
So Shimmy,
how?
I've got it. So, so I separated the two at the moment because I wanted to be like, if you're shimmying with a wall on the left of you and the wall on the right of you, like if you're like so this context and then technically this context are two different things.
Right, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like the walls on my like the drop is on my left and then the drop is on my right. Um,
I see. Okay.
I need to
Like,
pull all your changes as well, don't I? But I
oh
can do that.
yes, I
I can
need
do that
to.
after. Quite.
You do have to. You do have to
Yeah.
because we need to merge. Well, we need to discard the animation blueprint, and I need to redo it. My changes are small. They're only the blend nose stuff. Like the blend times,
Yeah.
stuff. So super minimal. But your changes are a lot more, so I'm gonna redo mine.
Hmm. Okay,
Yes. So
so
left
yeah,
is
so
like you got the wall on the left,
on the
and
left,
right.
yeah, and right is you got the wall on the right. Um, because obviously
So I
the
guess
animations
you,
are going to be a bit more specific. Because obviously how we're handling this locomotion type, it's a bit like these locomotion. It's a bit more like deterministic in terms of what animation is going to play. That we have a specific range rather than it being like,
yeah,
yeah. So like we can't really afford it to step off the side. People would just get annoyed. So
yes,
um,
yeah.
so yeah. I mean the main. I mean so if we if we I mean,
Yeah,
should we
should we
make the
create
problem that?
and you know there for start, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, quite. Yeah, I think we should for start because I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be different. Um,
yeah. Yes,
yeah,
just create so
let's make a new one. Do you want to? Do you want to do it in your screen? You'll probably be quicker. I think I know how to do
yeah,
it, but I think it'd just be quicker. And
yeah. So do you wanna like do you wanna follow me and do it on yours, or do you want me to check it
yeah,
in?
because I actually I would like to learn it as well, so that I can add. So then I can add for the squeezing and any other advanced locomotion stuff I need to do as well.
No, okay. Let's do this. Like, open like a file called data table interface, and I can basically walk you through because it's literally like all the thing that we need so far is one change, right? Okay, can you add one in there? That's it. Just for now, right? And then we do, you know.
Oh, it could be. It can just. Feel like shimmy can just be shimmy, right? It doesn't need to be
Yeah.
left
Exactly.
or right. It doesn't really matter. That is just specific to the animation I'm using. It could just be one, right? Yeah.
And then like we go subtypes in which we do shimmy left, shimmy right, blah blah. So that's it. That like for now, that is all
Yeah, just
you
that's all I care about. Yeah.
that's it. And then like when we need, we will add
The
some other stuff.
subtypes. Yeah.
But for now, it will just work. It will just export the animation and it will keep them. So that's so good.
Okay. So that. Okay. So this. Oh, so this type is already in there. Lovely. Balance type. So I need to make a new one of this. No. No.
No, just for for now, just let's just add the shimmy one. Okay, you want to? Okay, if you know what you need to do, yes, like let's do it. So you need like the shimmy one. What has it like? What do we need to have in terms of like data out of those animation?
Um. Okay. So what I need it to basically. I need loops and I need turns. So it's gonna
Okay,
be
so
similar to
you
the like balances,
subtypes.
or the
Okay,
the stairs. The stairs. Sorry, it's the same as the stairs
yeah.
basically.
Can you copy the stairs one, and you probably want to copy the enum as well for the
Yeah.
stairs.
Oh, it's just dead above it. Okay, so I didn't even see that. Okay, cool. Dum dum dum
Yeah,
dum dum dum
that's
dum dum
it.
dum 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 dum
Um,
dum.
if you wanna copy and paste one of those comments at the top of the section, yeah, like with this stairs, so just yeah, I guess it's just like shimmy as well. So. Okay, so I'll show you like because add the parameters is really quite easy.
Mm.
Okay, so can you replace the stairs with shimmy?
Let me not be.
Basically add a variable like you add a variable shimmy type um, in the class, right? And that's it.
Oh, in here, yeah. Okay, yeah. I haven't actually.
Yeah, yeah, the one exactly. Yeah, and so if you want to initialize with the most common one, you don't need to, but like it's always good to initialize for the common in case you
Yeah,
forget.
I'll just do a loop. That's the one I'm going to use the most. Cool.
And
Okay, so
if
that's
you
that.
need loop, let's keep now. I mean, I just really want to get that thing out of there because that is common with too many things now, but it's fine, right? So we got our things there, right? So because you added a new type, basically you need to go to the main class there and add a new parameter there. After stairs, add
Gotcha.
start the same block, which is
What could I?
and you see, like most of the stuff is just basically, you know, copy and copy. I think which I should add a rider macro that just fills in this thing because you basically just need a rename, right? So, or
And
then
this was
if
from
you
the previous one. Okay, cool.
yeah,
It's cool that this
and
is
if
just
you
a string C++ like bool
yeah,
condition.
yeah. If you
So,
scroll down there, it just go yeah. If you add that one as well, that one will you will see in code where this is used. It's gonna be um, when you search. When you have an abundance of things. If you scroll up a little bit for there is a dictionary section there. Like to say stairs dictionary, just add Shimmy dictionary, um, and that's it.
okay,
That's it.
cool.
Uh,
And then this. And I'm guessing there's a C++ file that we need to.
yeah. So yeah, for now, just don't worry about that. Just build it now and see if it runs. It's probably want to close it. It's gonna be destroyed.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Do the bug? Do the gameplay animations pull from a bucket like how they do in The Last of Us Part Two? Yeah. So the motion matcher is similar to that kind of vibe. It's sort of like because I'm pretty sure Last of Us Two uses motion matching as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dado, but it seems like they do. Um, you kind of have like this store of all different animations, and then depending on what you want to do and what your character is going to do, we pick the next frame, like the best one, and you kind of like it, like, but it's like so it doesn't get jumpy. It like tries to keep it in the same animation unless it really has like a significant change in trajectory. Um, but yeah, similar kind of vibe. A
Oh
bucket is a
yeah,
good idea of thinking it.
the
It's
Last of
it's
Us.
just it's
Yeah,
really just like we use like a data table. So with this, what we're doing here is we made Dada made this tool, and so it's like to like when you chop up animations, you can like specify different like things you need to do to it, and then we just have like the animation file. You look through it, you specify like a start and end point, and it cuts it up, and then does all the things you need to do relative to that animation. Um, so like he spent a lot of time doing it, but it's really like sped up the animation side of dev now. So it's really good, really really good. But yeah, I think the kind of bucket stuff is how we'll approach like character stuff. So like different characters will have access to different pools of animations depending on the stats and all that stuff. Like
I had a friend of mine working on the animation uh, on The Last of Us. I don't remember one or two, but
beautiful.
so they were using motion matching. He told me in a way, but he said that basically they couldn't just make it work like the way they wanted, and they use motion capture, but they retuned every single animation by hand. That's like that's sort of like defeat the purpose of
They they did what?
yeah, like he told me that I mean they have a massive team and their output is amazing, right? You know, the game is a masterpiece, no question about it. But yeah, they had to do a lot of manual work because they just couldn't make it work. I was pretty scared when he told me that, but then I thought, oh,
But
yeah,
it's like
okay.
I mean I saw the reel from one of the guys on the made Uncharted, one of the animators. He has like a reel on YouTube of all those like climbing animations, and he was like he did that all by hand. I was like, damn. I was like, god damn. But
By
there's like
hand.
loads. There's like I think there's always he says like over like 200 or something. I was like, Jesus. Obviously, it's a big team of people, so that's why it's possible. But I was like, my God, imagine having to like hand tweak and clean and make 200 animations.
Yeah.
And you'll probably really have access to a pool of, but I guess those games are kind of like when it's like story driven. You kind of like, it's not really a case. You kind of know when an animation is gonna play. Like the scenarios are a bit more forced. Whereas like, because I mean like some some um some animations only would play like in certain scenarios. It's sort of like with Jedi Fallen Order, like the shimmies they'll only ever happen in like set shimmy points. Like otherwise, you just won't be able to do it, and you'd lose control really of like what you're doing. You're like in this animation cycle. So, but yeah, so it works all fine in the thingy. Um,
Excellent. So, can you sport the shimmy animation? Like, let's start with you know start to sport a couple ones and see what we need to do in order to
hmm.
make it work the way we want. So, for
So
example, the first thing it will
so with
be
this, just we'll just do I not need to specify like the functions in which it needs to use?
yes, yeah, we need so like if you open up a file called anim cutter switcher. Yeah, anim cutter switcher. I think
What's wrong with my okay?
switcher. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, let me rebuild. Weird though. Sorry. The beach life, how are you? Hope all is well. So hopefully 0.10. So actually, I've said 0.10 soon about 1,000 times, I think. And that was like 4 months ago. Um, it's so true though. I don't care. Yeah, no, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. 6 months later. Next week, honestly. Next week. This one, yeah. And we've got switching, yeah.
Yeah, so let me go back to Discord. Um, so I lost the screen for a second. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Yeah, so that the one, right? So basically, right, yeah, let's check one by one. So if you go at the top of the file, let's see what we need for these animations, right? So um yes, I think we need this one. Okay, so this is the case when it will get the name based on the type and on the subtype. And because we have a subtype, we we need to add this case. Pretty sure I can have a macro to do this. This is this is quite suspicious. That is. Right, nice.
I see.
Okay,
So
so
what you've done here is just switch it here. It just has all the functions, and then it just. I'm guessing then when you press the button, it just goes through each function, as it does each one. It just checks whether or not the case of what we're trying to do for the anim type equates to this, and if so, it does that. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Cool. So then, rather than saying if this, call XYZ, and then saying the function that you need to call every time, it just calls all of them, and then changes what it needs to do depending on the different. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
so
just.
like if you go into animcat .cpp, like the main one, that one. If you go down to the actual when it goes elaborates, I think it's the last function. Well, one of the last functions. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
see.
one.
It just calls each one. Yeah, got you.
So basically, it calls each one of the steps, and if you notice, each one of the steps will check that for that type
Is
if he
it?
needs to
Yeah.
do something particular for that time.
Mm.
So if he needs to do something particular for that type, that is where the animation switcher comes in. They say, okay, this is like a shimmy. Just do this thing instead. Don't do the other thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense. Yeah.
so yeah, so each one of these function, if we need to see if the shimmy it will be using it. Like the subtype we don't have because
Mm-mm.
this is like third level of subtype.
Optional.
Um, now,
No, we don't.
optional calculation of common parameters, like if it's falling or landing, like so this it gets called when I did this because uh, when I do when I when I convert or elaborate a falling and landing, I only give as an input one long animation and then I split between falling and landing. Well, I mean, the animation cut adds another landing animation on the top of the falling, so I don't have to do it twice. So if you don't have an animation that follow up some other animation, you don't need this function. You don't need to do anything
Hmm.
with this function.
Okay.
This is
Cool.
just to say that if it's a linked animation, the landing is linked to the falling, then it needs to recalculate the common parameters because some of the offset will have moved, but you don't have to care about that now. So the
Yeah.
custom pass, yeah. So let's see if we need the custom pass. I think um so far I don't think we need the custom pass, right?
Nah,
We
I
don't
don't think we
need
do.
that. Yeah. Blend out notifies it. Um, I need to remove it from here because this is common one, so it shouldn't be
Hmm.
here. Which one is this one?
So
Okay, so
after
the
you
custom pass
retarget,
after retargeting.
yeah, we'll
I
need
think
it.
we need to have this one, right? Because
Yeah,
if
so we
it's a
can
loop
loop it. Yeah,
animation,
loop
we
it.
need
Yeah.
to loop it. I have the feeling that we should be able to do this more procedurally though, because this is just repeating the code. Okay, I'll have a look if we can find it. Um, if we can do better. Um, yeah. So that's it. So that will just blend,
Hmm?
loop animation for the shimmy loop, and only for the shimmy loop, of course.
Cool.
Okay. So
You
is
don't
the
need this,
animation
yeah.
montage? I don't think so, right? Is
Yeah,
it?
we don't need
No.
that. Doesn't need to be in place, no.
Yeah, I think like I found out that we all need root motion, but okay, we just leave it like that. It's root motion rotation. No.
That's
Okay,
only
I
for the
don't think
stairs. Nah, that's only for the stairs. Um, yeah, that's it, I think.
that's it. Yeah, and there's no loop
Well, I think
animation.
we're gonna have to add something here though. We're to solve our issue of the rotation stuff. But yeah, for now. Um, so if I build this, I guess it might do something. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the beauty of this is that like if you forgot something, like you can always go back and re-click
Yeah,
elaborate those animation,
yeah.
and it will like, update to whatever code you write. And this system is very powerful, so we should sell
Mm.
it to Epic.
Hmm?
We should sell it to Epic. This
We actually should,
animation.
you know. We should put it on the marketplace. I guarantee people will lose their mind.
Yeah.
100, like £1,000 a pop. We sell a couple
Yeah.
hundred of them, and we are sorted for the game. Good.
I think Toby did a couple of shimmy one as well. Wow, that's a very long shimmy.
I know. It was quite good though to have. Let's just do this one. Alright, so elaborate. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum.
I think I want to get the um, want to get the loop done on in the source animation as well instead of the target animation because I think looping a meta human and blending all the bones is super slow.
Super
So
slow. Yeah.
yeah, should be able should be able to do it. Yeah, in the source one, and then basically we once we get to the meta human, we don't have to do anything really.
This is also quite a lot of frames. It's quite a big one this one
Yeah,
too.
it's huge anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks
Whoa.
good.
Hold on a minute though. Hold on. This looks correct. Hold on. Wait. This looks correct. Like this looks.
Should be right.
No, no, but like no, it shouldn't be. I thought it'd be going sideways. Um, which is the problem we had before. It never looked like that before.
Oh yeah, I remember that we had that.
Before, because it would face forward and then go sideways. Now it's actually facing sideways and going forward.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
hold on.
remember
Okay.
that.
So let's just Okay, let me close all this stuff here just to see what's in. So if it doesn't equal none, that means it's something.
So every time you click elaborate on the human toolkit, right? The the tricky part is that because it needs to get the cursor when it does retargeting, it always uh, needs to recreate the animation. You cannot do retargeting on an existing animation, which is very poor. So that that is what we need to change here. I probably in the next like 5-10 minutes is that instead of just play that animation there, we need to set that animation from C++, the table, so it's always up to date with you know our number of e- e- elaborated.
I want to debug this. Just so you can see it too. No, for the sake of See, this is the issue I'm having. Why is it not doing the animation? It works.
Nice.
Wait, what the? Oh, my head. Why is it working? No, no, I'm getting annoyed because why is it working though, Dado?
That is so cool, though. I mean, this is
No,
the
this
other way around.
I'm very pissed off because why is it working?
I don't know how to answer that
Why is it
question.
working? No, it should work. Like, and it's
Yeah,
like
sometimes when it
it's
works and you think that it shouldn't work, it's even more worrying than simply doesn't work.
that's what I'm because it look, but like I'm pushing forward. It's like this is perfect. This is exactly what we wanted.
Dangerous.
See, because so now it's in the loop and it's in this state, but it's not in this state. And if I turn, now it's in this state, but it's in the state. No, I'm getting annoyed because it's working perfectly. The animation is doing exactly what I wanted the animation to do. and it's really really frustrating me. Because this is it, isn't it? This is just the
Yeah,
problem that we were facing fixed. No,
I think so. I mean,
it
if it
is.
feels correct
No,
when
it
you
is because
move
it's like I
the,
push down, it goes down. Like this is just correct. We could even do this for the squeeze. Let me. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I'm frustrated. Hold on. So why is it working? For anyone watching, I know it sounds like I don't want it to work. I do, but I need to understand why it's working. You know what I mean? Currently, wait. So let me just because you know what I mean though. Like the problem that we're
no,
having,
no, I know exactly what you
it's just
mean.
not having that problem anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's having an issue in terms of that's so cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we can do the shimmy when it's super small places, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, what
Like that
the?
one, probably the squeeze is better because you go enough room, but yeah, I think like if it's anything that is, I don't know, like belly belly width.
I really thought we'd be here for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Cause now I'm pushing left and right. Well, now it's not doing anything, but now I push left to go, and then I mean that's just
Oh, I
perfect.
see. Like it goes out so well.
Okay, I think there's something wrong with the anim graph. So now I push left on the stick, and it goes left. If I turn, I push down, and so it does exactly what I need it to do.
Well, look
That's
at that.
so
That's beautiful
silky.
when it goes out. Yeah.
Why is it working so well? I'm I'm happy, but like I'm hella because like the problem because you know what I said it when I saw the animation. This is exactly what we wanted it to do. Like we wanted it to when we created it for it to be facing sideways, but then with root motion disabled, still face sideways and move forward like this. Because before
Yeah.
when I did it, it would be facing forward and move forward, but the animation would move sideways in root motion. This just works.
Yeah. 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 I remember that madness that we
Do
went.
you remember it? That's what, and I didn't realize. I'm not complaining. I thought
No,
it should
I
work anyways.
just for fun, of course. I wonder if that made an impact.
What did?
I changed the root motion function, extract of the root motion functions like a couple of times just to. I had to fix a couple of bugs.
That's
Uh,
probably what did it then.
oh, wow, I'm gonna say. Oh yeah, no, I fixed a huge bug. Yeah, that I think I mentioned it in one of the team meetings. Yeah, the everything they used the root motion before was off.
Oh, you remember you saying that there was something about the root motion being wrong.
Yes. So
That's I
basically,
think that's what fixed it.
it could have. So basically, I was reading like I needed to read the the bone position, like the the local, like the relative bone position to calculate the offset of the feet stuff. And
Mm.
I find out that basically every time we read a bone location, like I don't know, pelvis or foot, ball, they were wrong. But the thing that annoyed me was that they were slightly wrong. They were like uh, yeah, they were just incrementally wrong, but that like for a long animation that resulted into collapsing everything. Um, Now, having said that, the hmm,
It could have been maybe the rotation reading of the root or the whatever was like offset to
yeah,
just like the pelvis. And now it's properly aligned. It means that when I actually cut it, it is just doing what I needed to. Like this works exactly how I want it to. And
yeah,
I mean this solves the entire. I mean, I thought we were gonna have to sit here for a couple hours and figure it out, but with this working, this was the only problem that we had with the shimmies. The logic is there. I just got to add like now. I just have to fix. I don't know why it's doing the problem in terms of going into the animation.
yeah.
Because if you see on the actual like, see now it should be doing something. Because in the anim graph it's doing it, but right now it's not doing anything. Um,
Wait a sec, is this the what is this state? Like, uh can you do can you print the what's the name? The motion matching debug output thingy.
mm,
Like, is that still yeah, that one like a
oh
dot anim
yeah.
gra anim mode dot mosin dot um what's that anim debug ultra yeah oh, yeah one of the two yeah okay, yeah. So that is still in the locomotion, right?
Mm,
What?
mm,
So you are
interesting.
running both nodes at the same time.
Wow.
You know, so maybe that is what it fixed
That's
it.
so
You
that's
are
what's causing.
running both nodes.
Let me.
How is that even possible?
How is that even possible? Hold on, wait a minute, something ain't right. Okay, okay.
So you are in the locomotion there for sure, right?
The locomotion is here.
Yeah,
Play. Idle. There were
yeah.
locomotion. And then here. Oh. Oh. I'm.
You know that the moment you fix it, it won't work anymore.
Oh, God. Yeah, I may or may not have forgotten to change that. Oh, that's not my fault. That is not my. I mean, it's 100% my fault. Um, no, no, sorry. Oh Lord, that's 100% my fault. I don't know why that wasn't the first thing I checked. Quite
Yeah.
to be honest, I was like, it's broken. Lovely.
Oh,
Oh, now we're talking. Yeah, look. So you can't see my controller, but actually, let me get my controller up for you, so you can see how I'm moving. I'm so happy. That we're done.
yeah, that feels good, right? That
Yeah.
felt
That's so we're done. Like, well, obviously, I've got to clean up the transitions in and out, so that. But now the animations do what the animations should be doing. Um,
yeah.
it's not. It's no longer like a case of yeah.
Choose the PlayStation 5 skin, so you know when we show it to Sony, and they're impressed.
There's no PS5. We'll do PS4. Sony, you can deal with it. How do? Why not? Let me pin it on
Until
top.
you give us money, we go
Until you give
PS4.
us money, we're gonna use your PS4 one. So now, if you see, so move that, and then as I go in, I push forward to go forward, and then if I turn, I push left to go left, or right to go right. So it's now like if I'm facing this way, I am strafing
Yeah,
technically, but if I'm facing forward, it's still like this. That's correct, and I can actually like adjust my rotations though.
yeah. And try to go to go back, like to go left now
Yeah,
or down.
I've not got the turn animation in, but like when I actually have the turn.
But shouldn't that just be like if you go left, shouldn't just like strafe, right?
What do you mean?
Like okay, so like you are going left, right? Left and down. Like I guess like if you are like if you want to, let's say, instantaneously switch to the opposite direction almost. Like now you're going up, okay? Like if you go
Yeah.
like straight down, shouldn't just be, yeah, you shouldn't need to do any turn, right?
No, no, yeah,
You
it's
know what?
because no, it's just because of the animation that I'm doing. It should just the turn will just make it so that I'm going the other way. Yeah, no, 100%. Because it will transition it from being shimmy like left to shimmy right. Like if you see like now, I'm going shimmy right. I should be shimmying left now. Do you know? So the turn will just be me being like, oh, change. Like it's such a subtle thing. It's like because I need to get the capsule technically to rotate itself. Um,
Right.
because the capsule's facing that way, I now need to face the other way. So the turn animation is just to get it so that it faces the other way. And it can be as simple as literally just being like, I'm facing that way, I turn myself so I'm facing the other way. Obviously, the animation I use right now, I use is the one from the balancing because I don't have the, so it does
Yeah.
that crazy old big turn. But
Yeah.
when we have the
Yes.
right
Yes. Yes.
animation, it should just be subtle.
But
Um,
shouldn't like I know that is gonna have an incredible amount of difficulties, but shouldn't just be a pure strafe. Like like it should never turn, right? It should like if you go down, it should basically strafe left the same direction, right? I don't know if you see what I mean.
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I mean, you could just do that in like a blend space, and then the direction of movement determines like where you are. So like you're moving this way or that way, and if you're moving this way, it just turns into the other way. Like I have a shimmy left and
Right,
shimmy
yeah.
right one. So if you enter in the shimmy right, we know your initial shimmy left. Sorry, we know your forward direction is going to be that way, and your backwards direction is going to be the shimmy right. And then you can just go forward and back, and then the direct because if you look at the move input direction, that can still be the like. It's just a case of technically the capsule won't rotate, but the direction will change. So the direction
Yes,
will
yes,
stay at
exactly.
180. The capsule won't rotate, but the movement will be backwards, so to speak. It just means that for both of them, I need I just basically need root motion going forward and root motion going backwards, basically. Um, which is fine. Like that's doable, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
like because I think that should be the default case. Like if you rotate, it's just to change the facing of your shim. Like if you're facing the wall, then if you don't like, and if you rotate, you will face outwards, right? But if you don't want to do that movement, you should go. You should continue with your like direction of motion stuff. Like you're uh facing mode. I think like what I'm saying is like rather than having shimmy left to right, it's like it's basically the main mode should be shimmy face to the wall or shimmy out of the wall.
mm,
I
no,
feel
no,
like
agreed,
what it
agreed.
feels more natural though.
The one thing with that is that the one thing I do, the only problem, one thing I think will be an issue is that when you don't rotate the capsule, technically the direction of movement is inverse to where your like the way your character so your character starts moving backwards. So when you come out of it, you're gonna have a problem where your capsule is gonna need to rotate because. See, as I come out now, my capsule would technically be facing backwards. It needs to now turn so that it's facing forward,
Yeah, yeah,
which I think might be a problem because it's like because if my capsule is always facing where I'm going, that makes sense because if I could be in this scenario and I should still be doing the shimmy that I want to be doing, like because my camera will constantly update. Like so, like here is shimmy like shimmy left, shimmy whatever. now if I start moving backwards, whatever. Sorry. If let me go there again. Sorry, I fell off. Um, yeah. So if I'm moving forward now, all good. I start now moving backwards. If I turn the camera so I face this way,
Yeah, yeah,
technically I'm moving forward, but my capsule is now facing backwards. So it inverts itself. So it's invertedly invert, and that I feel like could cause some issues.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that would work. Yeah, I would just wonder what is the most common case of
Common, yeah. I
um
mean,
yeah,
if I add this and get it working, I can happily experiment. We can play
yeah,
around with it.
yeah, you
There's no
can
reason
spend.
why not. But I'm just over the moon that it worked. I
Yeah,
was
and we
really
also
and
use the
quite frankly, I much prefer this to a lot of the animations of it. One thing I do want to check in that case is is there's a type of animation where it's kind of running but it's not straightish. I'll show you. You'll see here. It's like a faster shimmy. This one's pretty cool.
that one is cool. Yeah, oh,
I feel like
that one is
this. See, yeah. I mean, we can really. There's a lot of cool animations here. Actually, really. So these feel like shimmies to me. When I feel like
yeah.
this would be like shimmy right, shimmy left. I think the one where like one hand is forward and one hand is back. I think we can use that for squeezes. I think
I think
shimmies can
so.
be.
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think shimmies can be these
shimmy is more when you're right against it, right?
right against the wall. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
something like this, I think is a squeeze.
I don't know. That could be fast. Oh, that is a turn for you. There is a
Yeah, for
turn
sure.
there. Yeah.
There's loads of
Um,
turns. I think this is a
that
squeeze.
is a fast squeeze, a fast shimmy, right?
Shimmy.
Because that is super straight. I think.
Yeah.
You know what? We could
Oh no, but
potentially
look,
do
because it
it.
does that. It does. There's like a little jog. It like jogs, shimmy, shimmy. I think
That's
that's
so
a
cool.
squeeze. Like that's a fast
Yeah. Okay.
squeeze.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
But
That is.
is I mean all these animations I'm gonna get rid of now because like something like this. That's a squeeze. But that's I
Yeah.
think what we can even do now is have depending on the width how wide our thing is, we can play different ones. So we can have
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
narrow squeeze, a wide squeeze. We can have a narrow shimmy, a wide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
is the hand animation sorry, is the hand IK working on the shimmy?
yeah. The Hyundai kit was cool. Yeah, that was cool. I disabled it for now, because I want to do some more work on it because it can behave a little bit weird sometimes. It works well, like it does go to the wall. But I wanted to make that some of the animation, like when it loops, sometimes it isn't very good, and that's because I couldn't get a very long loop. But I'm hoping now that with the fixes to this, I can get a nice long stable loop, and then that way I can have yeah. Oh, this is gonna be sick. Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
this is.
check that stuff in before we lose it.
Yeah, let me check everything in, please, and the fixes to this anyway.
Then, like, okay, I wanted to just experiment with a couple of no, first check in, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
just loses everything.
yeah.
Me.
Yes, so I wanted to experiment with can we see if um they going in the squeeze. Can we check? Like, I want to see if there is a way to avoid the initial bump. Like, I think that maybe it's all a matter of shrinking the capsule a lot earlier. Well, I mean, not a lot, but shrinking capsule earlier because yeah, I want to see if we can get in as smooth as we can get out. And
Mm.
I don't. Yeah, I
I
know that
also
getting
think
in is a lot weirder than going out, I guess.
I think we also need a transition, like like a start animation, because at the moment we don't have a start, so it goes from locomotion to like straight into the squeeze. But it does that like once it's in, because it takes because I like to preserve that 1 second blend. But I think if there's a start animation that goes from
Yes.
running to in to squeeze that we can play the second we find that happening, I think that'll help it a lot. Because I think what's happening is the motion matching is causing like the character to move left or right. Because if you see sometimes it goes really well. Like so, it's like here. Oh, I just ran at the corner. That is also a case I need to decipher. So here,
Yeah, there. If we
so I
can
think
avoid that moment there.
yeah. So that was one of the things which I was trying to figure out yesterday. So it's like so here.
Oh, it goes
So
back.
not yeah because so then it enters so there it entered smoothly because I actually aimed it right because basically if the trajectory forward ahead of you doesn't pick up a squeeze um if the trajectory ahead of me doesn't pick up a squeeze so like yeah so if you actually aim it right it does it just right but if my trajectory I come in at an angle or whatever like too sharp or whatever it might change around because it could yeah so if you see there that is what I
Yeah.
got that's the main fix that's the last thing because if you come in at an angle the detection currently it's like well in front of you there is no squeeze technically you're not squeezing in this thing here
Yeah.
but you would be theoretically you're trying to get into this hole um, and it's almost like knowing that okay, there's a hole there that you need to get into. You may not be facing it. It's like here, it's like there's a hole, there's not a hole, there's a hole, there's not a hole. So you hit the collide. Then it's like when you then face forward, you're like, okay, there is a hole. You can go in. Um, which like I mean, it depends how precise you need someone to be to enter a squeeze.
Yeah, like there, for example, we should be able to like
Help them basically. Is that what you mean?
yeah.
Like a little bit of like a guidance to because you
Like
can
to
see
see
here
this
like the
manually, I think the other thing is that like I set up the default width, which is a lot wider than it should be because I set it up when we had the massive problems with the stairs and stuff like that, right? Now I think we can get 10 centimeters off that one
mm,
easily, which it will help a little bit, right? Yeah, because
yeah, if you're sprinting in, yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah,
yeah,
that's tricky because obviously if you do want to technically take it off of the player's aim because now if I aim straight then it does it. I think what I also could do. I think what I need to do there is because what I'm doing.
dangerous.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I do like a trace out left and right ahead of you to try and find a squeeze point. But I think what I can do instead is yeah, I think if I guess just do one or the other and like see if there's like a paired wall. So like if I shoot a trace right, see if there's a paired wall left. Shoot a trace left, see if there's a paired wall right, rather than just shooting the left or right. Because I think because what's happening is because both of the traces have to hit for it to happen, and I think what's happening is one or the other is hitting. So I think here the right one is hitting, but the left isn't, or vice versa.
But
I
I'm
also
just
have like
saying,
a
there is a moment where it shrinks and then like it slowly goes back up again, right?
yeah. I don't know why it does that. It shouldn't. It should like snap. Um,
I think
let
that is
me.
the exact problem, right? Like if it didn't do that enlarging again, then it would squeeze through nicely, right?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna let me quickly. Ooh. Okay, okay. I will. What I think. Ignore these ugly traces. Because what I think, I also do when I do my. Yeah, when I do these. If I kill this, out of curiosity. Ah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we should really decrease the capsule size at least 5 centimeters at least.
Hmm.
Because I made it. I made it with. How do you read? Like I saved the nominal capsule size in the human character class. Do you read it from there?
I just know I get it from the capsule component, so to get it what the current value is, to get the current size. But I update it from my advanced locomotion manager, and I basically do it on tick. So like, so basically, the current system will allow like still work for like an ever like a wall that decreases or increases in size because it goes ahead in the future. So like if it gets smaller over time, it will always take the smallest. It looks 1 second in the future, the current that time, and 1 second in the past, and it takes what's the smallest capsule size I will need to be, and therefore it
Right.
takes that one, so that it's always smaller than what it will need to go into or come from, um,
Yeah.
to avoid any of that. And it doesn't have it coming out or in when it's in there. But like you're saying, the main thing is detecting it going in. That's the main fix. Um,
Yes.
Let me. I
Yeah,
just want to
because
see
we don't
this.
want to be too aggressive, otherwise
Mm,
we will penetrate the walls like crazy, right? Yeah, there it does it a
yeah.
couple of times when he changes mind.
It changes. I think what it just needs to get better at being like, yo, there's a squeeze coming out. Because
Yeah,
it's
there
like
I think like he did it once, and then like the next frame he thought that
it
it
changes its
wasn't there.
mind. Yeah. Because the speed and the direction of the character is changing. So that's obviously that's what's impacting. It's like, I mean, that's alright, dude. That's not terrible, but I know what you mean. Yeah, let's I'm trying to think of the best way to. I think this was the same issue. I think the actual detection just needs to be more robust. Um, I think it needs just a bit more like, oh, like you're in the vicinity of a squeeze, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was what I thought because
Like rather
I
than
don't
like
want
you're
to.
exactly on the line of a squeeze, it's more like, are
Yeah,
you in the range of a squeeze? Like, is there without us being like putting a freaking like collision path in the squeeze channel? It's just like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay. I've
Can
got.
you check
I'm
like if he changed the capsule to 35 in the what's that in the character blueprint? Um, yeah, it's 35. I mean, we may have some problem with some, hands going, a little bit up. But that looks pretty much spot on, right? So,
mm,
I mean, we still need to fix it, but at least,
yeah, it's a lot better actually.
Yeah,
it doesn't really do it as much because I guess the capsule isn't as. But obviously, the smaller the gap, the more the problem will just return. It doesn't really happen now because
yeah,
it's a lot more accommodating to like a general squeeze. Um,
yeah. But like if we go a smaller gap, I would imagine that being a little bit bumpy, it would be okay because you really need to get in there, right?
yeah,
So,
you have to
but
be more precise. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I
but
mean
there
that's that.
it's
Yeah, I mean,
almost
because then
okay.
it's like we don't want to basically be like, because then I guess that's one thing about this. I mean, it adds a gameplay dynamic to the squeezing. It's like you have to aim it right. Like I mean, which I guess like if you're running full sprint at a tiny gap in a wall, you do have to.
Yeah,
You have to. It is like I guess there is a gameplay element of being like, well, you got to be
yeah,
accurate. Like, oh no, you like shit. I ran into the wall itself. You know what I mean? Like, it's like okay, well, if you want to squeeze something like this, but if you go slowly, it's easy. You know, like if I walk
yeah,
into it, super easy. But if you say okay, well, you're on a race or something, you want to beat someone, you have to really be accurate. Otherwise, you could suffer from that. And it's like shit, and you drop down. So it's I guess it's risk versus reward. That doesn't feel terrible. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna save this new capsule size for now,
yeah, yeah.
because it feels
Because
better.
it makes, I mean, the only time where he doesn't do a good job is when you're running with the hands that are like a lot further apart. But who cares? You know, like yeah, I much prefer this than the bumpy thing. You
This
know,
feels
that looks
really
so
nice.
good, right?
It feels really good too. Like it just like even like I think it's one of it's that thing I was saying that not having the traditional strafing mechanics and it's still feeling like normal locomotion is super important to keeping it like to feeling keeping it
Yeah,
feel
that
smooth
looks
like.
wrong. Yeah,
Mm. So here like because like I'm pushing left, it goes left, and
yeah,
like as I turn the camera, I'm then pushing forward. It feels way more. I don't even know what's the word like open world. I don't know vibe like it really is just reacting to everything about like it's just yeah you have full control of your character. But I love the fact that you can look backwards on your character too. Because I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
some shots would be like imagine this tunnel is huge and you're just like I mean let me kill. Yeah, this would be pretty cool. Like if you know if you're in like I can imagine like in a city street and you're squeezing between two buildings or something and it's like it's pretty cool.
Now I was talking to Shinobi. He's a climber, and he was saying that one of the coolest animation that you can do between gaps is the chimney animation, which is like you're basically going either up or down, like
Mm.
these sort of walls, and like you use your legs to like sort of like a frog movement to just go.
Yeah, to like squeeze your like push yourself out. That'd be awesome. I think definitely. I think something like this. Like if we wanted to climb, I think it'd be like say the wall. Like okay, say we had this scenario where let me just do this.
Yeah, 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 to climb up on there, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like, if we had this, I mean that's also just pretty cool. I mean, you mean that's the one thing I think we got to fix the camera in terms of like because
yeah,
obviously you want
yeah.
to maintain that distance, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean that's a pretty cool sight, you know. But yeah, imagine. I think then if you push this way, like left, it should now try and get up. Like it should now start to do the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
shimmy up.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And
Do we
then
have
obviously
any
if you
animation
let
of?
go, it skids down. Like,
Yeah. Do we have any animation
I don't think so.
of the boys doing that
No,
move?
I don't think so. Because I think that's quite a hyper specific one. I don't think we
Yeah,
do. But that'd be a really good one to get in the next mocap session.
yeah,
And
for sure.
I think it'd be fairly easy to add. To be honest.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, Toby can do it like no problem,
I tell we
right?
could do it right now, yeah. And I think it's literally like its own locomotion form. We just turn off gravity.
Yeah.
And then we just, if you're not moving up, you drop, and you add gravity back, and then you're like, but it's not even like you're adding. It's like more of like a loopy thing where it's like you, because you want to slide down, you know. Um,
Yeah, because it showed me that there were two ways. Like one with hands and feet like a frog, like the one that they do in
Ninja
Ninja
Warrior,
Warrior.
yeah,
Yeah, like I was the froggy one, but then he has another one which is a little bit hard. But if you have like tighter spaces, you basically have your back against the wall, and you put your hands um like your hands under your bottom, and then like your feet will just push up. It's
yeah. I've seen those ones, yeah. No, no, definitely. And you could do that. We could add that now. Like, I think the basis for adding all these different, like, I mean, the next thing we could even add, I don't know if we have the animations, and I think we could add it pretty easily. It's like, theoretically, I know we wanted to add some water challenges. We could very easily add swimming. Like it really wouldn't be hard.
yeah.
Like, honestly, like now that I didn't, like, now that this works, adding another locomotion form in like a specific way that's controllable is quite easy now. Um, Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna grab some food because I'm actually starving. Um, and then I'm gonna work on this collision stuff and just play around with it. And
Yeah.
then so hopefully tonight we can reconvene and I have a solution and hopefully and then I'll just work on the animations.
After
And
you do
hopefully, yeah.
that tonight, I want to show you how do we integrate the human
Climb
toolkit,
ups.
like all the animations that you like that you generate. How do we use it in the C++ side? So
Mm.
really, yeah, it won't be like it will be just use the phase matching node. And and for that matter, like the phase matching node is a normal animation sequence node. So if we don't trust in certain, instances, that the phase matching is actually doing a good job, we can just use it as exactly as is, like as
Mm.
it is now, we just exactly like that because it's exactly the same node. So that won't change anything, but you will see that you basically won't have to change the animation blueprint ever again once you got in, of course,
Yeah.
um, the proper state machine. But in order to add or remove an animation, there will be like dealt automatically with the C++, and yeah, and then
Wicked.
from there I want to start slowly putting back everything into C++ so
Yeah.
we can basically ship it. Because there is a lot of logic there that you can use in C++. They've already written about having filters on how to choose the best animation. Like for example, the best animation to squeeze in. We can choose the proper animation based on your current velocity or your current
Width of the
uh,
wall. Yeah.
the wall or the stamina,
Yeah.
whatever. Like all those
It's
parameters are
true actually.
there,
Yeah.
and it's just like adding a filter, and they say, okay, give me the best
Ah.
animation of Shimmy for this one. Yeah.
I never thought of that because initially I was just like, oh, it's just gonna be um a scenario of just plays this one or X or A or B, but the ability to pick different ones, that's also really, really cool. That's also, I think
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I think like like that narrow gap file thing that we have, we got like I think Drew did, I don't know, 10, 20 of those.
Yeah.
Just use all of them,
All of
but
them,
we
yeah.
no, the code will just pick up the best one in the circumstances. And this, yeah, it's so cool. Yeah.
That's wicked, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Awesome.
That's one excellent, David. Well,
That was been
that
very
was a
productive.
good day, right? Good
Yeah, I know.
session. Yeah.
A very good day. That is, wow. Very good. I'm very happy with this. Cannot complain. Awesome.
Nice
I'm gonna
one. Yeah,
check in
I'll
this little
catch
change.
you later on tonight. And yeah, we'll do the C++ thing. And yeah, we're going to ship it.
Wow. What's this? Okay, some weird thing. Um, yeah, yeah, sounds
Oh,
good.
check that path name. It looks like it
It's
has.
a weird little dash at the end. This is correct. This file.
Oh, that is the temporary file. If you
Yeah.
if you quit Visual Studio and Rider, that should go away, right? That is just a temporary file.
Oh yeah. Let me quit. Exit this.
Oh, do you use fork as the to to branch to merge the
No, I
slide?
just use GitHub Desktop. I need to use four.
It's nice. Oh no, no, just go a little bit of better, like uh, yeah, better. What's the name? Emerging tools. Yeah.
I'll just pull it up again. Make sure it has the right one. But yeah, okay. I'll grab some food and then yeah, I'm gonna I'll work on that tonight. If I can get, because if I can get that good, like doing it really well. Yeah, it does. Okay, this is fast. Yeah, yeah. Because if I can get that doing it well, then I'll be very happy. Um,
Yeah. Nice. Super.
awesome,
Right.
awesome, awesome,
Excellent. I'll
awesome.
catch you later on tonight.
I'll catch you
See
in a
you in a
bit,
bit.
then. I'll catch you tonight. See you later. Bye. Awesome, guys. Stream. I shall see you in a bit. I'm happy. Yeah, it's a really good progress. So yeah, I'm gonna stream again tonight. So and you can watch me rip my hair out about the capsule.